How close were you to signing a long-term deal with the Steelers this past summer?
I was so close.
Like you were in town, or where were you?
I almost did it.
Veon, nice smile.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks for sitting down with us, Le'Veon. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you just filmed your SI cover shoot.
Yes.
Life's a Gamble, same title as your rap album. Just signed a 4-year contract with the New York Jets. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. To be honest, I feel like the decision I made and all the layover and the long sitting out, it all paid off in the long run, and I'm happy where I am today.
Yeah, I mean, let's dive into that. What was your goal sitting out of football for a year?
Ultimately, I wanted to get a long-term contract and, be happy, go somewhere where I'm happy and where I feel fit and feel valued, where I want to get, guaranteed security over the course of my contract and playing football. So ultimately, I got that.
How did the Jets make you feel that way, that it was a place you wanted to be?
Honestly, just growing up, being a little biased just because I was a fan growing up of the Jets because one of my favorite football players was running back Curtis Martin, and I grew up idolizing him and loving him later, the way he ran the ball and things like that. So I love the Jets. So when I had the opportunity, hitting free agency, and then everybody kind of talked about me going to the Jets and things like that, I just felt like the stars kind of aligned, and everything worked out for a reason. So and they made me feel welcome, talking to them on the phone, and guys recruiting me, and it's just the whole process. Was just the fans recruited me. It was just everything about it. I had no choice but to go there.
Jamal Adams was playing GM a little bit.
Yes.
Anyone else get involved?
Sam Darnold. You had Gary Vee. He's a huge Jets fan, but he's a guy who I'm a huge fan of. And I watch all his YouTube videos and things like that. But he's a huge Jets fan. He was recruiting me and things like that. It was just not even just the guys on the team, but the fans and people who love the Jets, who maybe played in the organization, talking to Curtis Martin, things like that. It's just a lot of things drew me towards that, and and I'm glad I made the decision.
Did you talk about what your role would be in the offense, and what did they tell you?
Instantly when I got to the Jets in New York, I felt loved instantly. When I talked to Coach Gase, I felt like when he talked to me, like me and him on the same level. He's not talking to me like I'm under him. He's the head coach, but he's talking to me like we're on the same level. When I talk to the GM, he talks to me, we're on the same level. Initially, there's a guy who's is higher than me. Don't get me wrong, he's a GM, but it's like we're talking like you respect me, I respect you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You felt like you didn't necessarily feel that in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, when I first got to Pittsburgh, I didn't get that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they greeted me wrong or indifferent, but it's like when I got to New York with the Jets and things like that, just talking to even the teammates, it's like I felt like welcomed. I felt it. You can sense when people genuinely want you around, when they genuinely want you here, they genuinely want you to be good. They genuinely want you to be, we want you to be good here. It's like the vibe I got, But when I first got drafted to Pittsburgh, I wasn't thinking like, oh, this is a bad spot. Well, no, I was thinking I was happy. I got drafted to Pittsburgh, I was happy. I'm thinking this is how it's supposed to be. I'm thinking this is how it's supposed to be. I didn't know because I was a 20-year-old, got drafted, came here. So I'm thinking like when they're talking to me, I'm thinking this is how it's supposed to be. Oh yeah, you're supposed to talk to me like that. You're supposed to talk to me like that. So when I'm seeing guys walking around, oh, that's how they treat Ben. Oh yeah, Ben is like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, AB's like that. Pouncey's like that. Like at that time, that's all I knew. It literally didn't hit me and change until I was a free agent, and then I'm talking to Adam Gase on the phone. That's when it literally hit me when I'm talking to him. I'm talking to him like normal. Like I'm talking to him like I would talk to my friend. Okay. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we're on the same level. You get what I'm saying? Like Ben had his relationship with, you know, the GM and the head coach. AB had his relationship with the GM and head coach. But the relationship would be different than anybody else's relationship that's on the team.
Okay, so you felt like you were treated differently than a certain group of...
No, eventually I got there. So eventually I got to the point where I was like, oh, Le'Veon is like how AB is now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like Ben and then like GM. You know what I'm saying? It's like they all like, it seems like they're all on the same level than everybody else is like lower.
Okay, so it's Ben, the GM, and then all the rest of the players.
In a sense.
Well,
that's the vibe I got. I'm just saying, when I got to the Jets, I feel like I can talk to you and you can talk to me. It's even. Everything's even.
Right. Okay. But you felt in Pittsburgh that the quarterback.
I didn't feel in Pittsburgh that we're even. I don't feel like we're even. I never felt that. And at that time, that's all I knew. I'm just thinking that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. You weren't even.
Because I was never in a different situation. I was never nowhere else. I'm just thinking, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like if we're teammates, we're teammates. We're all the same. We're all on the same thing.
And you felt like you weren't even with Ben.
Ben is Ben. He's the quarterback. At the time, I'm thinking that's how it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like that. Like, don't get me wrong, quarterbacks are leaders, and yeah, everybody go to the quarterback. It is what it is. But it's like, you're still a teammate. At the end of the day, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not Kevin Colbert. You know what I'm saying? You're not Mr. Rooney. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
We're still teammates.
Yeah, I mean, certainly several players, Antonio, Josh Harris also said some things in recent weeks about Ben's leadership abilities. So what was your relationship like with him, and was that a factor why you didn't want to stay in Pittsburgh?
I mean, that was part of it. That's part of it. It wasn't the factor, but it was a factor. Yes, it was a factor.
Your relationship with him?
Yeah, it was a factor.
And you wanted it to be different in a way?
Yes.
How would you have liked it to be different?
I'd have liked it to be more open, more genuine, more real, more, you know what I'm saying? Like we're friends, like we teammates.
And you did not feel that way? No. It's interesting because, the Killer Bees, looking back, would you have ever thought a few years ago that you guys wouldn't be together right now?
I wouldn't have thought that.
You wouldn't have?
Nah, year 2014, I'm thinking about, I wouldn't have thought that. I thought we all would have been in Pittsburgh for, you know what I'm saying, my whole career at least.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would have thought that.
Yeah. And with Antonio also kind of, you each obviously took different paths, but two high caliber players that did not want to be in Pittsburgh anymore has raised a lot of questions. What's going on there? What's happening under the surface? What would you say? Like
Pittsburgh is they're a great organization. You know what I'm saying? They got a great owner, head coach. They kind of treat you like, all right, if you're like they don't treat you like a human. What I mean by that is I'm an NFL athlete, but it's still I'm a human being. You know what I'm saying? So I still play video games, I still make music. It's like they don't want to allow you to be yourself for real. It's like they want you to be, if you're a Steeler, you're literally supposed to be playing football 24/7. You're not supposed to be playing video games and making music, playing basketball. You're not supposed to be doing that. You're supposed to be working out. You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic. A lot of things it's not realistic. So if I do say something, if I'm doing something on social media or whatever, that's different than football. It's not accepted. It's not a bad place to be. You get what I'm saying? It's just I wasn't happy. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my place. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad place. It's just wasn't for me.
What were some of the things that made you unhappy in Pittsburgh?
There's a lot of things that happen on the field, with guys involved, in the locker room, and obviously the things that went publicly, people know the public stuff about, guys calling me out and things like that, and I felt like for me to get my full potential and be the player that I can be and I know that I can be, I got to go play with different players. I got to go play with people who wants to see me succeed. Who wants me to be, a great player, I mean, I feel like getting a fresh start that'd be the best thing for me. You know, if I'm already playing in the locker room where guys already feel a certain way about me, you know, they already know what I am. They know what type of talent I have and what I can bring to a football team. You know, not even just on the field, but even off the field, like in the locker room. I'm a great teammate. You know.
So I think you're referring to after week 1, some of your teammates said publicly, you know, that you were being selfish or they questioned your decision. I think that's what you're referring to. Right. At that point, you know, were still considering the idea that you would report at some point that season? Yeah,
I mean, originally I was thinking like I was just not gonna come week 1. That was my original goal, original plan in my head, but it just like happened like certain things leading up to week 1. Certain things is like, why would you know, like why that happened? Like why would you say that? You know, because it's like, you know what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to do. So it's like, if you're my teammate, if you're a brother, you know, you're supposed to be on my side.
So your initial plan was to report after week 1, and sitting out 1 week would, what, sort of reduce the workload or show the team that they missed you, or?
Yeah, at first I was literally just thinking like, yeah, I'm about to go out there, I'm about to show them, you know, blase, because I wouldn't play camp, because camp and OTAs, I haven't went to camp and OTAs, so I'm just like preserving my body. I'm like, I'm not playing. But I'm just thinking like, you know, when week 1 come, I'm gonna come, but things kind of laid up to week 1, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna play week 1. Things after even week 1, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like certain build-up, so it's not making me feel comfortable. Like over the course of time, that's what I'm getting at. It's like I can't even remember like little details or little things that was happening, but just leading up to week 1, or when they was in camp and I wasn't and I was training, just leading up to that, it's kind of like I'm cool. And then week 2 will come on, I'm cool. Then it got to a point where it's like, regardless what they say, I'm gonna come back after the bye week. I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna come back after the bye week. And I got to that point. And then, you know, new information that came out that I feel like that was real important to me. I heard that I didn't even have to play to get credited. I mean, not a credited season, but I didn't even have to play, and they would have to use another franchise tag on me. So that's when I got to the point. It's like, oh yeah, if I don't gotta come back, then I'm not gonna come back, unless I was literally feeling welcomed. And then I took some time off. When I figured I wasn't coming back, I took time off. I stopped. I didn't play basketball. I didn't run, jump, nothing. I was literally chilling. I was just focusing on music for about 2 months, and then around like mid-December, I start, you know, back with my training, you know, getting back right and things like that.
So you said you took a little time off training. There was obviously a report out there that you were 260 at one point. Right. Were you ever that many pounds?
No. And the thing about it is, I can literally walk around and be 220, or I can walk around and be 200, and I can walk around and be 240, and nobody would never be able to tell the difference.
You look the same.
I look the same all the time. So when that report came out, it was just funny, because I'm thinking like, nobody ever seen me step on a scale, so how would anybody know? Like things like that is like, I don't ever entertain it just because it's funny.
What was the highest you weighed in that break from working out?
Honestly, I don't know. Probably like 240. You know, I feel like if I was just a normal guy, not playing football, not working out, I'd be easily walking around 240, 250. You know, I mean, I'm a bigger guy. You know, when I'm playing football, I'm training and working out, I play around 215, 220, you know, 225, somewhere in between that range. It's like, it's easy for me to just lose weight and get there. It's easy to just walk around 240, and it's easy for me to just play at 220, you know?
How much are you right now?
About 230. About 230.
Veon Bell is coming to the Big Apple. Bell, of course, sat out the entire 2018 season.
Was his year-long holdout worth it?
So your decision has been dissected. I mean, I don't know if you've been reading. Every article has opinions on the money. They'll say there's less money through 2 years, right? There's less money through 3 years. 26 through 2 versus the Steelers' offer had 33 through 2. So, you know, do you worry that the end result, that the earnings will be less, that you won't make up the 14.5? You don't seem concerned with that.
No, not at all. Because in life, it's the long game. you know? So everybody worry about that 1 year for 14.5, but let's say if I play. So if I play that 1 year for 14.5, I go out there week 7, you know, I mean, I just don't want to say the real negative, but you get my point. If I get hurt and I can't play football no more, yeah, I got 14.5, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you good, 14.5? It's like, you happy? It's like, yeah, 14.5, we good. Boom, but I can't play no more. Or maybe I'm not going to get a long-term contract because I can't play no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, football is a violent game. I seen one of my teammates get hurt, and you know what I'm saying? It's up in the air about if he's going to play. You know what I'm saying? You literally seen it. So it's like, yeah, 14.5, I could have got that first year, yeah. But I'm not worried about losing that because at the end of the day, it's a long game. So if I know for a fact that when I fast forward, I get to the Jets and I sign a guaranteed contract, a real guaranteed contract of 30, 35. I know I'm getting that no matter what. As soon as I put my name on this paper, I'm getting that. Oh yeah, okay, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I'm getting that. And then that's like long-term security. I'm secured. In Pittsburgh, it was just the year one. Only year one is guaranteed. So all the other stuff you talk about the year over year 2, year 3, I understand it. I completely understand it. Like some people, like I said, would have took that, I completely understand it. But when year 1, if something happened and I can't play no more, I'm not entitled to that.
Right.
I'm entitled to that first year, that's it.
Did the Shazier injury really impact your view on?
Of course.
How so?
Of course, just like, because it's football, that can just happen any given play. You know what I'm saying? That's like my brother too. It's like, you hate to see it happen, but it's reality that you playing this game of football, it can happen, you know? And then when it's like when I'm sitting out, you see guys who is playing, who's trying to earn long-term contracts like Earl Thomas and things like that. Alex Smith just got paid and he got hurt, but you see the difference between he had long-term security. He's like, Alex Smith, like, you don't ever want somebody to get hurt. No, obviously you don't, but it's like, he got hurt, but he good. You know what I'm saying? Alex Smith, like, he signed, like, he got guaranteed money. Like, so even if you're not the same player no more ever again, if you never ever perform again, you still sustain, you're still good. You play this dangerous game that you put your body on the line. You may not be able to be able to play with your kids. You know, you really taking that risk, you know? But if you do, it's like, I want to be compensated for it.
So there's 2 different buckets, right? You don't sign the Steelers' second offer. Part of it's because you don't want to be there long term. The other part is it's really the guarantees that was lacking in that deal, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of it. It's like, yeah, like guaranteed, like the money part with the Steelers deal was really the first time the contract came around. That's when I was really big on the money part. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was really big on the money part the first time around. But the second time around, it was like kind of like a wave of everything. So I'm thinking like, man, if I'm gonna stay here, it can't be 80-20. It can't be 80% your way, 20% my way with the contract, and I'm not really happy here. Like, no, I'm not about to do that.
What would have made you happy enough to sign?
Like numbers with the Steelers? Yeah. I feel like if they would have just guaranteed, so I feel like the contract was perfect if they would have said, as soon as you sign this paper, you get $35 million guaranteed. Then perfect. Oh, okay. Perfect deal. Perfect.
So basically, the deal they gave you just the second year guaranteed. You wanted this. Their policy is not say future guarantees, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is, the first one, it was like I was more on money. But I'm saying the second one, if the second one was like that, like, but the first one I was way bigger on money. I was bigger on money in the first time around. Second time, it was like I'm not happy. I need at least this, that, and other, and I was still like about to sign something that wasn't gonna make me happy, and I was like, nah, I just can't do it.
How close were you to signing a long-term deal with the Steelers this past summer?
I was so close.
Like you were in town, or where were you?
No, I wasn't in town. We was like on the phone. It was like, you know, so we'd have faxed it over. I'd have just signed it, like, all that, but like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, you know what I'm saying? Let's close it. I was like, and I was just thinking about it. It just came down to like the wire, and then that time, it's like that timeline, they give you like that deadline too. So it's like, when I made the decision, I gotta just stick to it. I'm just like, nah, I'm straight, I'm cool.
Did you ever tell them you were going to sign it? Had it gotten that far that you told them?
No, I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them I was gonna sign it. I think I might have told like my agent or something. Like, I think I'm gonna do it. I might have told my agent, like my mom or something. But I didn't tell them. I was just, in my head, I'm thinking like, the whole time I'm just thinking, man, I'm not gonna be happy signing this contract, but I'm just thinking, trying to make everybody else happy. I'm just thinking like, that's literally what I remember thinking. It was like, I'm not happy with this contract, but I know this is what everybody want me to do. That's just, I literally was thinking that, like, I know everybody want me to do this.
Yeah. I think that shed some light for people, because I think there was a missing piece of the equation. And I think the missing piece was that you weren't happy. And that's basically things that have probably built up from negotiations. And then also your usage on the field. Would that be an accurate assessment?
That's part of it. It's part of it. But like I said, it's, when you like somewhere for like 5 years, you can't really pinpoint what's not making you happy. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like a collective thing. It's just kind of building up. I literally cannot pinpoint it. I just know it's like a collective of things that I just didn't like. I just didn't like, but I was putting up with it because everybody's looking at me and say, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's happy, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a, you know what I'm saying? I'm a jolly person, you know. When I'm meeting you, if I'm coming to talk to you, I'm not gonna come to you dry. You're not gonna get the vibe that I'm just not happy. I'm gonna come to you like I'm a happy person, you know what I'm saying? That's just the person I am. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't like, literally just for myself, like knowing I'm like really happy here.
How can you be sure you'll be happy in New York?
Because it was like, when I first, like I said, when I first got to Pittsburgh, I didn't think it was a bad place. I thought it was good. I was happy, right, when I first got there. And then over the course of time, I'm just thinking things are supposed to be the way it is. Like, oh, this is supposed to be that way, boom, boom, boom. So over the course of years, I'm thinking, oh, this is how it goes, right? I get to New York, first day I get there, it feels like we're on the same level. Like, yep, we right here, we right here, we right here, right? So I'm just kind of thinking like, as soon as I got to New York, it's like, oh, in Pittsburgh, that's just how it is in Pittsburgh. But here in New York, maybe this is how it's supposed to be. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, like this is how, like, I was surprised when I'm saying, like when I got to New York, it was like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be? Like we supposed to be talking like this? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm talking to the head coach like I was talking to like somebody that's on my level. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, did Adam Gase give you an idea of how to use you on the field?
Yeah, I mean, me and him been, talking. I mean, he's excited. I'm excited. He didn't talk to me about plays I like and designs and what routes and things I like to run and how comfortable am I playing different positions. Yeah, I mean, we've talked and like I said, that's why I'm so excited, just because of the fact that like I feel comfortable enough to even talk to him like that. Just like really, I'm like, hey, we should try to run this. Like, I think we should try. I would never go to Coach Tom. Like, I literally remember like. My rookie year, and when I was coming into camp, like it was like I remember this like a play. I was like, oh, I like this play. Like, I was like, oh, I like this play. We should like try to run this play. This is like my rookie year. And Coach Tom was like, shut up, L. Bell, you just run the ball. That's what he said. Like, shut up, L. Bell, you just run the ball. So like that's my rookie year. So I'm just thinking like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be. It's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now over the course now. It's like year, you know what I'm saying? I done start making plays for like year, you know what I'm saying, year 2, 3 and stuff like that. It started a little bit like kind of coming around asking like maybe like suggestions, but never to a point where it's like, hey, what play you like? What play you like? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I felt even comfortable in them saying, I wasn't comfortable enough to go like, I want to run this play. We should try to put this in. Like, you see this play the Rams ran, like, we should go run this. Like, let's put this in. Yeah,
I mean, you say you're happy. When's the last time you felt this happy?
I can't remember. I lied to you now, I literally can't remember the last time, I felt this good. Like, my goal, I remember I'm just thinking like mid-December of 2018, I'm thinking, 2019, that's gonna be my year. Like, it's gonna be the year I'm going to strive for greatness. I'm going to do everything right and make sure I bump into the right people. I take care of my family. I make, you know, the right constant decisions, you know, stay out of trouble, just get a fresh new start. You know, when I put that into the air and I feel that and I really believe that, it's like everything's been going right, you know what I mean? Everything I've really been wanting and, you know, kind of just dreaming about what's been happening, you know, and it's kind of, you know, scary, but it's scary in a good way, you know, just because of the fact that, like, I am so happy and it's like, I haven't felt this way before. You know, I can't remember literally feeling this happy and being in such a good spot and feeling this way about myself.
Thanks so much for doing the cover shoot with us. Congratulations on your contract in New York, and we'll see you again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you so much for having me.